Welcome to Perry Barr, home to the Birmingham Brummies. Tonight they take on the 2023 champions, Sheffield Tigers. And we are joined by Calvin Tayton and Scott Nichols. Now, we were meant to be in action, gentlemen, 7 days ago, but the weather had a different say to the matter. And we're meant to be in Ipswich. I know a week has passed, but Calvin, we've got to talk about that week of Speedway of Nations and that grand final. And GB, world champions.
Yeah, fabulous moment. What a conclusion to a really tough week weather-wise.
Yeah.
But Saturday night was superb, and to go down to the wire like that, you know, against the Aussies who got the better of us 2 years ago in Denmark, in Voyens, and Robert Lambert and Dan Bewley. I mean, Scotty, this was one hell of a way to finish the night. Robert had ridden superbly well throughout the night, but Dan Bewley, this was special.
He had, and we're so used to seeing that from Dan, but on the World Cup or the Speedway Nation stage, it's a different ball game to doing it week in, week out in the league, and didn't panic. Jack Holder has a little look over there, and at one point, Dan actually goes back to last, and the title is back in the Aussie hands right there, but he gets a 2-for-1 here, smart move up the inside, and follows his teammate home, and oh, what the glory to redeem themselves and to bring the title home on home soil. What a magnificent night.
Like you say, Cal, though, the week was hard in terms of the weather and everyone that came out. It was almost like you say, it was redemption, it was revenge against Australia. The two teams met in Voyens, but this time GB on the top step.
Yeah, and at home, you know, we did it in 21 there, and it was, you know, in actual fact, you know, the last few years, Team GB have been fabulous.
Yeah.
You know, they've had 2 golds and 2 silvers now, so they've had a fabulous run of form. And, you know, those moments are to be cherished, aren't they? You know, they are very, very special indeed.
They are very special. Let's bring our attention then, Scotty, to the here and now and to the Premiership. Now, Birmingham Brummies, they've had a tough season. There's no two ways about it. They've hit hard again tonight with injuries. But Sheffield have been inconsistent on the road.
They have, and I think that's been the story for Birmingham, hasn't it? You know, I feel for them at the start of the season, they perhaps looked a bit under strength, but they performed above par, got their win here, and then there's just been injuries and guests, and it's hard to get that momentum going. But like you said, Sheffield, away from home, Kelv, they've kind of been a little bit up and down, to be honest.
They have, and it's hard to put your finger on why, because they're a quality outfit, they're the champions. Hearing the rumour they're not making starts away from home if the starts are slick, you know, they're concerned about that tonight. You know, they are favourites, I would suggest, for this evening, but they do need to pick up points on the road.
Well, let's have a look at the points and how the Premiership table stacks up. It is Ipswich that are at the top of the table, and they have been there pretty much most of the season. Sheffield Tigers 7 points behind them, but they do have 2 meetings in hand. Bellevue Aces 1 point behind the Witches on 21 points. Oxford Spires just another point behind them. So only 2 points separating Sheffield in second and Oxford Spires in fourth. Leicester lies outside the playoff positions currently. Kings Lynn, tonight's host, Birmingham Brummies, foot the table. There is another meeting taking place north of here in Manchester at the National Speedway Stadium as Bellevue take on the Oxford Spires. And Oxford, they're looking to secure their top 4 position. Let's hear from Dave Rowe and the team news.
Well, these two sides met at Cowley on Thursday. Oxford won 53-37, but once again changes made by the Spires. This time they've released Drew Kemp and replaced him with youngster Luke Killeen. It also means Eric Riss, who had really found his form and was taking extra rides, will now be back in the top 5. Bellevue have issues at reserve. Tate Zischke out for the season injured, and Conor Bailey stepping down from the Rising Star berth. So just as last Thursday, Finnish star Antti Vuolas and former Aces rider Jake Mulford have the chance to impress as they look to rebuild for their playoff chase. So here's the revised Oxford team with 2 away wins so far this season, both at Birmingham, and looking to fight off Leicester for 4th place. Rowan Tungate on a recent high-scoring run. Captain Chris Harris is OK after a big crush at Glasgow on Friday. It is a very inexperienced reserve duo. And for the home side, the Aces currently 1 point above the Spires and naturally strong on their own circuit. It's the first meeting back in Manchester for Dan Bewley and Brady Kurtz after the Speedway of Nations drama, and the middle-order combination of Jamin Lidsey and Ben Cook provides plenty of race advantages at home. 3 league points up for grabs tonight. It's Bellevue against Oxford.
Dave, thank you. Well, Birmingham has been impacted by the weather over the last few weeks, as has much of the country, and it's made the track really challenging. It's a really nice evening this evening. Let's see how the track is prepared. Here's Calvin.
It's our second visit to the Perry Barr Stadium here in Birmingham, and I must say we must have been a lucky omen because they hadn't won a match going into that particular meeting against the Aces, and they came out on top. They'll be hoping for something similar here tonight against the Sheffield Tigers. Now, I'm on the inside of the first corner. Dirtometer out. We're just digging around. There is a decent amount of fresh material on the top there. You can see that just flicking off nicely. I've got to say, actually, the water has done its job, because a little earlier on it wasn't doing that. We make our way towards the middle of the track. Again, actually here, you can see not quite as much material there, so no man's land is the middle of the track. Don't want to be there. And if we just make our way across to the outside, they have actually ripped it about a third of the way round the corner. And again, plenty of dirt out here. So you've got to suggest that the commitment from riders is going to have to be on the inside, the shortest way round, particularly early doors, and this outside run, sort of from a third to 2/3 of the way around the corners at both ends of the track, will work and pay dividends as the evening goes on. Plenty of work has gone on the start line. Lovely gripping up there and ripping up on the start, so plenty of grip for all the boys to roar into the first corner. Hugely important match this if it's a home team. They haven't had a great run of form. Winning at home, of course, is going to be very important indeed. The champions are in town. The Tigers are here. It's going to be a great night of Speedway.
Kel, thank you. Let's meet the captains now. They're with Scotty.
Thanks, Abby. I'm joined by the two captains. I'll come to Birmingham captain first, Freddie Lingren. Freddie, coming to season late on, it's been an uphill battle for the Brummies this year, but tonight you've got an opportunity to go out there and show the fans and the viewing public what you're capable of as a team.
Yeah, no, it's right. So we had a difficult spell. It's been a difficult season so far, and we're just trying to find a form, really. Hopefully we can turn something around tonight.
It's always difficult when new riders come in and out, and guests, obviously you've come in late. How have you found it fitting into the team kind of late in the season? It's
been pretty difficult, and I've been outside of UK Speedway for some time as well. So it's a bit of a challenge with the tracks and to find my feet here at home as well. It's been difficult, but you know, I never give up, and I'm going to give it all I have.
I'm sure they'll be pleased with that and hope you find that form tonight. Kyle, Sheffield captain, you've been fantastic at home as a team, but have to be honest, away from home, the results have been a little bit up and down. Do you see tonight a good chance for you as a team to get an away win and start to get that confidence away from home coming into the playoffs?
Yeah, for sure. We've had away wins, but obviously it's just not been as consistent like at home. So hopefully tonight we can build that away momentum and hopefully get a win at Birmingham. Obviously the home form's been great all season, but if you want to go all the way, you need to sort your away form out. And yeah, it's just dipped a little bit, so hopefully we can get it going.
Well, let's see what happens. We're going to do the coin toss. I will get you to call when it's in the air, please, Kyle.
Heads.
Kyle calls heads, and it comes down tails. So, Freddie, you have choice. You're going to have gate positions in Heat 1, or will you opt to go Heat 15?
I will go Heat 1, and we'll take 1 and 3, please.
OK, thank you. Best of luck, boys. There you have it. The Birmingham Brummies choose Heat 1, gate 1 and 3.
Scotty, thank you. Well, let's meet tonight's teams. Joining Kelvin in the commentary box is his partner in crime, Chris Louis.
Thanks very much, Abby. Really looking forward to this. This is an important meeting for both outfits. Sheffield Tigers are up first, and Gilt's coming out first as the rising star for the Sheffield Tigers. Then we've got young Jason Edwards coming up at number 6 as well. Here he comes, a rider that's on the up and up. Age 21 now. I remember when he came into the National League as a 15-year-old. And Jason is a stylish rider, that's for sure. Now we've got a guest at number 5, of course, with Ty Woofenden on the sidelines with that badly broken elbow. And what a replacement it is. Max Frick, number 1 from the Leicester Lions, coming in to replace the 3-time world champion. And I must say he's been in sparkling form this season, Max Frick, so a very handy guest to have. Josh Pickering, another super rider, always gives of his very best. We've got Chris Holder, he's my man to watch, and Chris, I think, another Chris Holder has been terrific on his return to British Speedway.
Yeah, he has. His home form has been outstanding. He's got way over a 10-point average at home, but he's been very hit and miss away from home. So for me, he could be the key to a good result for Sheffield away here at Birmingham.
Absolutely. Now, Carl Howarth, the captain, is a little hit and miss himself. I think probably a touch frustrated at times with his performances, but another rider like Josh Pickering, you'd like in your team because he's always giving his very best.
And, yeah, certainly a rider that never knows when to give up. That's
absolutely
for sure.
Right, and can be very eye-catching indeed. And certainly another eye-catching rider, of course, is Jack Holder. Jack Holder, who is certainly an out-and-out world-class rider these days, fully-fledged Grand Prix rider. And he leads the team. They are the champions, the Sheffield Tigers. Now, the home team, Leon Flynn, who rode particularly well in the Speedway of Nations 2 on the Friday night. He did a great job. And Leon will need to do a super job down at reserve here this evening. We've got a guest now coming out. We've got Paco Castagna now. As I say, he's got a great moustache. If he rides as well as the moustache, then I think he will be flying tonight.
That is easily the best tash in Speedway, with no question about that. But I've got to say, these two at reserve, obviously Birmingham would be strong at reserve with Pavlicki there. He's obviously out injured, Paco coming in, but I think they just got the edge tonight at reserve.
Can't disagree with that. Now, Tom Brennan, he is a rider that was part of that Speedway of Nations winning trio. Of course, he didn't get a ride, but Tom Brennan's having a great season. He's a wild card in the Cardiff Grand Prix very shortly, and I'm looking forward to seeing him ride there, as I am tonight. We've got a guest coming in here as well. Zach Cook coming in, who was actually dropped from the team recently, but he's back in the side to guest here this evening, the Australian, and he'll be hoping to put his best foot forward.
Yeah, we wish Justin Sedgman all the best as well. Quite a big crash he had at Edinburgh with a big concussion and a knee injury as well.
All the very best to Justin Sedgman for a speedy return. Also, Stevie Worrell, who's got an ear infection, not ideal for him right now. Victor Lampard, the Polish rider, coming in. Bit of a fan favourite, Victor. It's no question he gives a very committed performance. And Victor has been doing rather well this season for the Brummies. Now, Michael Palm-Toft is a debut for Michael Palm-Toft. He's well known to us, of course. He's been around quite a time. He's been on the injury sidelines recently. And Michael Palm-Toft, I'm sure, will want to have a good debut tonight.
Yeah, his season obviously been hit by injury, so he's going to want to come back. He's going to want to be strong. I don't think he's 100% fit. Still has one or two problems, but he'll be looking for a good one tonight.
Now, of course, the huge signing of Freddie Lingren is here. Won the last Grand Prix in Gorzoff in spectacular fashion. If he can reproduce that sort of form here for the Birmingham Brummies, then they are going to be very pleased indeed. They are your two teams, and they will be going head-to-head very shortly. Let's get back down to Abby.
Calv, thank you. Well, the hashtag this evening is Bershie. So any questions you've got for Scotty, or indeed the two boys in commentary, then use that hashtag and I'll pose those questions later on in the show. When we come back, it'll be straight on with the action here in Birmingham. Welcome back to Perry Barr Stadium here in the heart of Birmingham, where the Brummies host 2023 Premiership champions Sheffield Tigers. Before we get on with the meeting, just a quick reminder of the other motorsport coming up across the platform. It includes the Porsche Super Cup. It's round 6 for them, and they're in Spa-Francorchamps, and that's Sunday 10:30 Discovery Plus. World Superbikes, they're in Portugal in the Algarve for round 7, 10th and the 11th of August, Discovery Plus as well. And British Superbikes, round 7 also, and they're in Thruxton on the same weekend. But here in the British Premiership, Heat 1 has got 2 Grand Prix riders going head to head. It should be a cracker. Your commentators tonight are Chris Louis and first of all Calvin Tatum.
Thank you very much, Abby. Yeah, you're absolutely right. 2 Grand Prix stars coming out here. Freddie Lingren in particular is in sparkling form after a dip in form earlier this season. Jack Holder, also a Grand Prix winner this year. And it could be quite a tasty opening race. Looking forward to it. You know, it's an important night for Sheffield. Haven't been good on the road. And they would suggest that with the bottom team in 7th place, they would be looking to this night to pick up the league points.
Yeah, absolutely. They've lost their last 5 away matches, actually, which includes 1 cup match. So they've got to look to turn that around, change things a little bit, because, you know, it's coming down to the business end of the season. No question they look set for the playoffs, but... you know, you've got to be able to perform away from home as well as at your home track.
You do indeed. Jack Holder, now a fully fledged Grand Prix rider, of course we know that. He'll be looking to get off to a fast start here, but Freddie's going to be a hard nut to crack here off gate number 3. The home team will take gates 1 and 3 in the opening race. They won the coin toss with Scotty a little earlier on. Carl Howarth out here as well, the captain, just making his way round for the opening ride of the night. It's a nice evening. It's mild, it's breezy. Good news, it's not raining. Can't believe it. It's good news. A couple of Aussies there looking on. Chris and Zach Cook there, just keeping an eye on the first race of the evening. Heat number 1, Michael Palm-Toft, his debut this evening for the Birmingham Brummies off the inside in blue helmet colour. Gate number 2 in yellow is Carl Howarth. Gate number 3 in red is Freddie Lingren. Off the outside in white is Jack Holder. And good looking lineup here.
Yeah, great looking lineup. Lingren's really got to take the advantage of being on the inside of Jack Holder in the opening race. You know, you've got to take advantage of that. Jack's all-round rider now, he really is. He's making starts, he's racing very well, but of course the way Freddie Lingren's riding, if you can beat Bartosz Marslik effectively in his own backyard the way he did in Gorzów, then you know you're on top form.
Indeed, it was a sparkling performance from him, passing Bartosz Marslik from the back. It was an eye-catching moment for him and a fabulous way to bounce back. So here we go, Premiership action here, live on Eurosport tonight. Green lights on, tapes are up, and we're underway. Tight into the first corner between Lingren and Jack Holder. A bit of contact there as they enter the first turn, but it's Lingren that shows the speed. And now Michael Palm-Toft coming through into second place. Smart move by him to get up the inside, and the Brummies are out in front. The ideal start.
Cracking start for the Brummies so far. Looks like Kyle Howard pulling up at the back. He's got a bike problem. But Freddie Lingren, he made the best jump, but then I've got to say Jack Holder really got the bike working to the corner. But a little nudge from Freddie, went round the curve and then down the back straight. Michael Palm-Toft just got up the inside. Cracking start for the Brummies.
Indeed it is. Freddie Lingren going along very nicely. Michael Palm-Toft has had all sorts of injuries. He really has had quite an extensive surgery to his right shoulder, but showing no ill effects here. Making a great start to his new club, and they're going through the final corner on the final lap, and the Birmingham Brummies get off to a maximum score here. 5 points for them. They will be chuffed to bits with that. Jack Holder look a little dejected there as he comes across the start and finish line, but for Freddie Lingren, the ideal start for him. And he made it after a little bit of argy-bargy going into the first corner. He came out on top, and in truth that actually allowed Michael Palm-Toft to come through as well. So an encouraging start here for the home team. Heat number 1, the result for you. Freddie Lingren out in front, 3 points. Michael Palm-Toft 2 points in second place. Jack Holder back in third, and Carl Howarth with that mechanical issue failed to finish. Chris, great start for the home team.
Great start for Birmingham, and I've got to say Freddie Lingren makes a good start, gets the bike, jumps off the start. Jack Holder then in his efforts to come across him gets a little nudge, has to ride wide, and that allows Michael Palm-Toft just to creep around the inside. Jack Holder there goes to turn the bike in early, then realises Palm-Toft is there already. So absolutely perfect start for Birmingham, and this will be good for their confidence, good for the rest of the team as Heat 2 comes out. The reserve riders, I've got to say already, I think the reserves look strong for Birmingham.
They do indeed. They'll be looking to capitalise on that in heat number 2, which is coming very shortly. But Freddie Lingren with his teammate, their new teammate, combining very nicely to pick up the maximum score. Freddie beginning to settle in nicely now, back in British Speedway. He left, he's actually rode for 14 seasons for the Wolverhampton Wolves, and he left that club in 2017. So it's been some time since Freddie has been racing on these shores, but as I say there, in the opening race of the evening, he looked very impressive indeed. Riders back out on track for the second time, for their first ride, of course, but Paco Castagna out here, the Italian. We're looking at him doing a practice start. He's on, he's an eye-catching rider, and they'll be looking to look to him to pick up plenty of points. There he is. Just a few final. What are they getting up to here? Because we see this often, don't we, when they do a practice start?
Yeah, very often it's just when the bike is out for the first time on the night. They will do a practice start. The chain moves, the rear wheel moves, everything, the countershaft settles down. There's all sorts of moving parts and bolted parts that can move just a fraction, and the chain sometimes will either go loose or tight. So they'll just ride back to the mechanic. Mechanic will check the tension on the chain, and then the rider is happy.
Right. Let's just get some reaction down in the pits with Scott.
Yeah, thanks, Phil. Just real quick, just going to ask Kyle if you think you've got water in the plug cap or something, Kyle?
I'm not too sure. It's not that. I don't know. Just see. Well, there's a bit of water on the back straight. I don't know if the electrics have gone, so I don't.
Oh, well, there you go. Back to commentary.
OK. Hopefully he can fix that problem. It's going to be an important rider. Disappointing start for the champions. Didn't get off to the start they were looking for, that's for sure. And it's disappointing in your opening ride of the night when your bike packs up. Heat number 2. Jason Edwards goes from the inside in the white helmet colour. Paco Castagna. Gate number 2 in red. Gate 3 In yellow is Dan Gilks, the rising star from the Sheffield Tigers, and off the outside Leon Flint in the blue helmet colour. Now, can gates 1 and 3 work for Sheffield Tigers? You fancy the Sheffield Tigers here? Think they're just a touch stronger on paper?
On paper they're a touch stronger, but no question that Jason Edwards and Dan Gilks are two quality young riders with a big future ahead of them. But yeah, at the moment I've got to think, especially with the confidence high, they've just seen their teammates go out, take a 5-1 in the opening race.
Indeed they did. We're on board with Paco Castagna tonight. And I tell you what, he's always in the thick of the action, Paco Castagna, so we could get some pretty good pictures from him. And a very enthusiastic guy, always got a smile on his face. Here we go, heat number 2. Oh, drama there. Movement on the inside. And there's no doubt that Jason Edwards moves first there. And unfortunately, Paco Castagna then ran into the tapes. Disappointing moment.
Yeah, always an unfortunate situation. See the rider in white, he will just take a stab there. And Paco Castagna in red sees the movement on the inside. He's the one that touches the tapes. Yeah.
Castagna will be excluded. Phil Griffin, our referee. Desperately disappointing for Paco Castagna. When a rider does that, it just sucks you in. We see it quite often. And Edwards just twitching on the start line, and Paco Castagna was pulled forward. Very difficult to resist that, isn't it, when you're nervous for your first ride?
Yeah, if you're on gates 2 and 3, you're looking across the other rider, either on the inside or the outside of you, and sometimes it doesn't even take actually seeing the movement. It's just the revs drop on the engine when they drop the clutch, and you can react to anything, a noise or the motion. So yeah, frustrating situation, and if it is the case, then Paco Castagna will have to go off 15 metres, of course. No reserve to come into heat 2. So he will have to go off 15 metres.
Link. I'll be alright. Yeah, you'll be alright. Build some speed up.
So Phil Morris there will be relaying the information to riders, having a chat with Simon Stead. They're the team manager for the Sheffield Tigers. Paco Castagna will be going, almost certainly will be going off 15 metres. You're dead right. And they can't do anything else. Just taking a few moments because the tapes need to be replaced because they were broken. Clutch is just being cooled down while we just have this short pause before heat number 2 can get underway once again. Whether Castagna can actually get amongst the points here, that's going to be a bit of a tall order, but he will give it his very best, you know that.
Yeah, he knows the track well, and you wouldn't put it past him. He's all-action rider. He's the kind of guy you can watch going around on his own and get quite excited.
Yeah, we actually saw him practicing for the Speedway of Nations, and he was eye-catching then. But he'll be frustrated about that. And we've seen it on several occasions this season. And it's as a rider, both of us up here, we've experienced it. It really, your heart sinks because you know that you've been just almost tricked into touching the tapes.
And it is a trick that sometimes you can pull just to get someone into the tape. I'll mention it since you weren't going to.
Really?
I may have done it once or twice.
Okay. I personally,
I'm sure you never did.
I personally would not have got up to those sort of things. But there we are. So riders beginning to make their way back round to the start line. As I say, we are just travelling along nicely with Paco, who will be parked up 15 metres from the tapes themselves. And he will pull up on the outside. Second time of asking for heat number 2. Edwards on the inside, possibly the villain in white. And gate number 2 in blue is Leon Flint. Dan Gilks is coming out of gate number 3 in yellow. And off 15 metres in the red helmet colour is the Italian Paco Castagna. There we are. Fair way behind. We have seen, I remember seeing Dan Bewley win a race from 15 metres at Bellevue. Quite incredible the way he did that. Whether Paco Castagna can do it here at Perry Barr, I'm not so sure, but I'm sure he'll give it his very best. We're just taking a little bit of time to settle down there. There's a bit of confusion. I'm not
sure what the confusion is. They've lined up correctly.
Well, because Paco Castagna was on gate 2, but you can't go from 15 metres from gate...
No, you swap over to the outside gate 3 or 4.
Whether that was the confusion, it seems to have been tidied up now and cleared up. And Phil Griffin is, I'm sure, got his finger on the green light button. Here we go. It's on. They've behaved themselves. We're away. Edwards has made a lovely start on the inside. He hits the front going in the first corner. Leon Flint turning it hard there, coming around the outside is Gills. He comes into third place. Castagna is at the back. But Jason Edwards taking full advantage of that restart here. And heat number 2 looks pretty controlled out in front. Oh, Dan Gills coming on strong in third place.
Yeah, Paco Castagna is throwing everything at it. Just made a bit of a mistake as they came into lap 2. Went very, very wide, but he has made most of that back up now. He seems to have a little bit more speed, I've got to say, than Dan Gilks. So by the end of the race, he may be there. And he's still persisting with the outside that really isn't working. Meanwhile, Jason Edwards looking good out front.
Edwards out in front. Leon Flint trying awfully hard in second place, but the inside line is the fastest one. This time Castagna does hold it down, but points are hard to come by from 15 metres. One last chance for Leon Flint, the home rider. Can he do anything about it on the charts of the line? No, Edwards holds on. And it's a 4-2. A 4-2 to the Sheffield Tigers, and they closed the gap to 2 points. 7 points for the Brummies, 5 to the Tigers. Gates 1 and 3 working well there. And there's no doubt that Edwards made a sharp start, reacted well, and behaved himself. He knew he was going to have to because he had a warning. Here's the result. Heat number 2. Edwards out in front, 3 points for him. Leon Flint back in second place, 2 points. Dan Gilks, 1 point in third. And Paco Castagna missing out in heat number 2.
Well, Jason Edwards was showing a certain amount of keenness to get away in the first attempt of this race. Well, he does so in the second attempt. And he hits the front. You can see Leon Flint there, turns the bike hard. He wants to stay right down low. There's a little bit of dirt on the very inside exiting turn 2. We will see that as the night progresses. Riders will look for the grip down there as the night goes on as well. It's normally stays there throughout the night. You can get a run up the inside off turn 2 into turn 3 on the opening lap at least. But yeah, good result this for the Sheffield Tigers, and a decent race win for Jason Edwards.
Just nearly levelling it up after the disappointment of the 5-1 for the Tigers against them in the opening race. Solid start from Birmingham in heat number 1. The Tigers bouncing back in heat number 2. Heat number 3, riders making their way round to the start. Zach Cook is here, the Australian, coming in as a injury replacement tonight. Of course, he was a Birmingham rider. He got dropped as a consequence of the signing of Freddie Ling. Quite hard on Zach Cook because he's an honest rider and he's a fast rider. I'm sure he'll be out to prove a point this evening.
Yeah, no question. He'll want to put in some decent laps and get some results tonight. As you say, he is a decent rider. I like the way he rides. He rides, you know, what was his home track here very well as well. So I was quite surprised to see him get dropped, but that was the decision made. And Freddie Lingren looks on. Chris Holder for me in this race. He's the barometer for how this team get on away from home. If he has a poor night, they struggle. But if he rides to his high standard, then ultimately they will win away from home.
Yep, absolutely. So Zach Cook coming in for the injured Piotr Pawlicki, who's got a very badly broken hand and knee ligaments, all sorts of problems with it. So that's a great shame for him. Heat number 3, Zach Cook off the inside in the blue helmet colour. Chris Holder, gate number 2 in white. And Victor Lampard comes off at gate number 3 in red, and Josh Pickering off the outside in yellow. So heat number 3, Victor Lampard, who has settled quite nicely and has a real good go actually around here. I've seen him ride a couple of times. He's quite a rider actually.
Yeah, he's not afraid to put it around the fence when the dirt line moves out wide. He's never afraid to get the back wheel right up by the air fence there, so we'll watch out for his moves later on.
Chris Holder's been making fabulous starts this season. Chatted to him when I saw him at Oxford. He had a good night that night, and if he gets away well here, he's a hard man to peg back. He's showing great speed, has really cracked it around Allerton. Can he crack Perry Barr tonight? Here we go, heat number 3, just 2 points between the sides. Green lights on. Oh, again.
Oh, here we go
Again, Jack Cook. Now that is frustrating. Coming back to your former club as a guest, first ride and you touch the tapes. Well, break the tapes in truth.
Well, you did say it, Kelvin, how keen he would be to show everyone, and a little bit too keen.
Yeah, that's it's a disappointment moment for Zach Cook. Let's just see this once again.
I can see Zach on the inside. There's a lot of movement here actually, because well, both the home riders almost hit the tapes at the same time, to be honest.
Well, I'm hearing that all the riders will come back to tapes for a restart, saying that the tape weren't. There was a malfunction on the tapes there. So a bit of a reprieve there for the home team and for Zach Cook in particular. So kind of got away with that, because to me it looked like he just touched the tapes. Right, while we've got this short pause, you want me to go down there? Let's get some more reaction from the pits with Scotty.
Yeah, thanks. Somebody quickly grabbed Simon, said, stroke of fortune for Birmingham there, a tapes malfunction.
Oh, was it?
Delivering the news to you, mate.
Yeah, a bit of news for me, but yeah, look, it's 4 riders in a race is better, I reckon. But yeah, just hoping we can get back into it. You know, it was a tough start in Heat 1, but Heat 2 was good. Confidence for Jason and Dan. So yeah, we just build on that.
Definitely, it's getting to the gritty part of the season. The playoffs are beckoning, and you guys have had a bit of a tough run on the road. So obviously tonight for you boys, it's you want to get that win.
Yeah, look, I think with the way the fixtures have fallen and Jack's injury and Ty's injury, you know, we struggled to cover for those really in 2 important away fixtures. So that's been difficult. We've obviously brought Max in tonight. It gives us a bit of a boost. And yeah, it's going to be an important one for trying to get one over the line. We need to get some more points on the table.
It's always hard trying to cover for rides, especially if Ty and Jack stand. Is there any updates on Ty's situation?
No, look, we're just playing it day by day with Ty. Really, you know, he's old enough, wise enough, and to know himself if he's ready or not. I know he's got a date in his mind that he'd like to be ready for. Whether that's achievable or not, we'll keep our fingers crossed and assess it when we know a bit more.
Okay, mate. I'll leave you to get back to team. Thanks a lot. Back to commentary.
Thank you, Scotty. Be interesting to see if Ty Woofenden can make a comeback this season. It was a tough crash in Gorzhov, badly broken elbow that was operated on immediately. That's kind of encouraging there when he says he's got a date in mind, but suggesting he could well be back earlier than we were expecting.
I can't imagine that he wouldn't want to be back for Cardiff, if I'm honest. I know that's not far away.
Your best guess, is it? Is it best guess? Of course.
I think he will want to be riding in Cardiff.
Well, it's a meeting he hasn't quite managed to win. It's an opportunity for him. He was showing good form in Gorzhov prior to that crash. He hasn't had a great run in the Grand Prix this season, but certainly that night he really looked like he meant business. So Cardiff, Ty Woofenden back, well, that would be fantastic to see him there. Riding, not just spectating. So riders beginning to make their way back round. Tape seemed to have been fixed, or the malfunction has been on all the gremlins have been got rid of. Let's hope we can get underway without too many problems this time. Chris Holder just rocking up to gate number 2. Holder, of course, a former world champion. 2012, what a season that was, and what a way he won that championship, going head to head with Nicky Pedersen. Heat number 3, the restart. Zach Cook off the inside in blue. Chris Holder, gate number 2 in white. Victor Lampard out of gate number 3 in red. And off the outside, Josh Pickering with the yellow helmet colour. 2 points in it. Brummies just in front right now.
I know Sam Amalenko had an extended team talk with his Brummies team earlier today, and he certainly seems to have got them wound up, but maybe a little excessively wound up. He needs to calm them down a little bit, particularly at the start right now.
No, they don't want to throw points away. They've had a good start here, up against the champions. And Sheffield Tigers, good-looking team. They've got Max Frick in tonight. That is quite a guest to have. Frick's been in fine form this season. On his return to the Grand Prix, has been in really good form as well. So here we go then. Riders coming forward. Second time of asking for heat number 3. Here we go, tapes up, we're away. The Birmingham boys almost crashing into each other, they do. They do. And it was tight going in there. Initially, the two home boys actually got away nicely, but I don't know whether Pickering coming across and squeezing them up. There was no room there at all. And Chris Holder had to put the bike down to avoid Victor Lampard. He actually reacted very quickly.
Yeah, we can see the two home boys here in blue and red. Lampard in red there, and Zach Cook has got to say, for me, it's probably going to be all 4. But it's a slightly strange one, because Zach Cook makes a decent start. The bike's up in the air, going forward off the inside. Maybe moves over a little more than Lampard thought. He certainly hasn't moved over excessively. And yeah, it's all four for me.
That's confirmed, Chris. You're absolutely spot on. All four of them will come back for the third time. All right, we'll get some more reaction now with Scotty Nichols.
Yeah, thanks, Cole. Just quickly try and grab Chris. Chris, just a little reaction to the tight first turn there.
What's he doing?
I don't know, you tell me.
I don't know, yeah. I got tired. I didn't really go anywhere off the start, so I need to make a bit of a change, but we'll make sure I'm in front next time.
Okay, best luck second time around. Yeah, so Chris Holt doesn't really know what happens, but there's a restart. He gets another stab at it, and hopefully Victor Lampart's okay. Back to you guys in commentary.
Well, they've all picked themselves up. Thanks, Scott. They've picked themselves up and they'll dust themselves down. Bit of good fortune, maybe, for Chris Holder. So, because there's no doubt that he's spun up there. Maybe he'll just tweak the bike. What sort of things are they going to get up to now to try and get it to come off the start a bit better?
It's mainly to do with the fuelling. They may put a larger jet in just to richen the fuel mixture up a little bit to lose some power. They could put the ignition timing back a little bit. Back in the old days, me and you would be looking at moving the wheelbase, the rear wheel forward a bit, but it's not something that they like to do with these modern bikes and the way they react.
That's true, but might just be an opportunity for him to be able to get the bike off the start. Furious action going around Victor Lampart's pit area. Just coming down, a bit of a clash in the first corner. Brennan involved, mechanic involved. Not quite sure what he's getting up to there, but no doubt that he's an important rider for them. Phil Morris in there as well, so just keeping an eye on exactly what's going on. Phil will, when he feels it's appropriate, will instruct the referee to put the 2-minute clock back on. So I'm not quite sure. I can't quite see what he's up to there.
I think we're seeing Victor Lampart just replacing the canister on his air suit. He's got an air suit there that it's like having an airbag in your car. When it detaches when you fall off, before you hit the ground or anything hits you, it should explode and put an airbag to save basically back and internal organs.
So that's what he's up to there. Mechanic is just replacing the clutch lever, which obviously took a bit of a pounding when it hit the track. As I say, we've been off to a bit of a stop-start here with tapes exclusions, malfunctions and a clash in the first corner. So we've had a bit of everything so far. Be good to see riders going at it for 4 laps. Another tear off on as well. A little bit unsettling, isn't it, when you go in the first corner and you come off the bike. It was just really close and tight going in there. That man, of course, Sam Ermolenko, former world champion, he's been there, knows what it's all about. As you say, he gave a bit of a longer, really got the boys together earlier today when we got here. And he was obviously really keen to get his team to perform well this evening.
Yeah, you know, I had a little chat with him and said, you know, what were you saying? And he just said he just wanted to... you know, let them know that they've had a lot to contend with. The team has changed almost constantly from the moment that they lost Vaclav Milik early on in the season. And you know, they've had differing track conditions. They've had a lot of rain, as we all have, but they've never had the same track twice. So he was just trying to say, look, you know, I believe in you. I know you can do it. And so far, early doors, but they're doing okay.
So Victor Lampart just getting his airbag reinstated. And his suit's back on. Clutch seems to be working. And it shouldn't be too much longer before the 2 minutes is on. And riders will have to make their way back round to the start. In actual fact, it is on now. So the clock is ticking for Mr. Lampart and the other 3. Zach Cook, of course, who was a touch fortunate, I think, to get away with that tapes initially. He'll want to go well. And he is a rider that can go particularly well at times. But as you rightly say, and he's my man to watch tonight for the Sheffield Tigers, Chris Holder. If he goes well, he is class personified. He still rides the bike extraordinarily well. And we have seen him ride. I've got to say, when he rode at Oxford, when I saw him there, he really did get it together. And there he comes now. And he'll be keen to try and get that bike to come off the start a little bit better for the 3rd time in heat number 3.
Yeah, and I always think that the riders riding at 3 and 4, that partnership in any team is often a key to the result of that team, particularly away from home. If you look at results, whenever the 3 and 4 do well, it tends to mean that the team has done well.
So here we go, Mr. Lampart on his way to the start. Heat number 3. Another restart. Here we go.
Start number 6.
Yeah. Zach Cook off the inside in the blue helmet colour. Chris Holder out of gate number 2 in white. Victor Lampard will go from gate number 3 in red, and Josh Pickering off the outside in yellow. Bit of digging around. Starts out, the track's dried quite quickly here. Bit of breeze up there, quite a mild evening. Plumes of dust actually were coming off the inside in the opening race, so they will have to monitor that throughout the evening. Don't want too much dust out there. But it is a fine balance when it's hard. You don't want to make it greasy as well and tricky and unpredictable.
Yeah, it's been a breezy, sunny day, so it's always tricky to get the track 100% how you want it, and these long delays haven't helped. So I think some water will have to go down for the first track raid.
Here we go then, third time of asking for heat number 3. We're underway. We're roaring into the first corner. It's tight once again. Lampard grinding it on there, but round the outside is Pickering. Pickering tried awfully hard to get across from the outside, didn't quite manage to do it. Lampard, who was having to do some running repairs there, he's bounced back in big style here. He's out in front. Pickering up the inside now. Can he make it work? Cook coming on strong. This is tight out in front.
Yeah, Pickering just got caught on the outside as he looked for a run into turn 3 on the first lap. Changed his tack completely now, looking to dive up the inside of Victor Lampard. Lampard just bouncing through the holes going into turn 1. Seems to have got this race sewn up. But I tell you what, Josh Pickering isn't going to give up.
Pickering coming on strong in second place. He's on the back wheel. He's putting tear-offs. All action there from the Australian. Lampard plugging away out in front. Cook's beginning to wind on now in third place. Holders at the back. Encouraging performance once again from the home team here. Heat advantage. Lampard wins. What a way to bounce back after hitting the deck first time out. Super ride from Lampard. Really determined. Pickering gave it everything in second place, but just couldn't quite get there. But a 4-2 to the home team, a heat advantage. And they move on to 11 points now. So the result of heat number 3, finally. Lampard out in front, 3 points for him. Josh Pickering, I tell you what, he is terrific to watch. 2 points in second place. Zach Cook back in third, 1 point for him, and Holder misses out in heat number 3. Quite all action there. Pickering really was trying everything he could to get to the front.
Yeah, Pickering's throwing absolutely everything at it. Rider in white there, Chris Holder, we heard from him talking to Scott Nichols after the first attempt to run this race. Said he spun off the start and he'd got to do something to change it. Well, whatever he did didn't quite work, and he just got squeezed going into the first turn there by Victor Lampard and Zach Cook. Pickering now around the outside. I tell you what, if he'd got his handlebars in front here, I don't think they'd have seen which way he went, but he didn't quite. Victor Lampard round the inside, just picks up grip mid-track coming off the corner. I thought Zach Cook at that point was going to get up the inside of Pickering. But Pickering, all-action race as usual.
Yep, eye-catching rider there in second place. But the home team now on 11 points. Stretching away. Good stuff from them. 4-point lead after 3 heats. Heat number 4, riders are out here for the first time. Tom Brennan. Tom Brennan's going along nicely this season. Really is beginning to mature as a rider. Got that wild card for Cardiff. Of course, that's on the 17th of August, Cardiff. Really looking forward to that. We're having a mini break, of course, with the Olympics coming up. But the Grand Prix will be back on the 17th in the Principality Stadium. Max Frick, he's having a good season.
Yeah, great season. He's returned to the Grand Prix. He's just proven how quick he can be.
Heat number 4. Leon Flint will go from the inside in the blue helmet colour. Dan Gilkes will go from gate number 2 in yellow. Tom Brennan out for the first time this evening. He's in gate 3 in the red helmet colour. And Max Frick will go off the outside in white. Frick, of course, rides for the Leicester Lions. And he has been terrific for them this season. He's a busy man, Max Frick. He rides in 3 leagues, the European Championship. He's in the Grand Prix as well. He doesn't have many days off, but doesn't seem to affect him too much at all. Be interesting to see how he gets on tonight. Big boots to fill, of course, with replacing Ty Wolfenden.
Yeah, of course, big boots to fill, but Max, he's on a guest booking. He'll be relaxed. Not that he knows any other way, but Birmingham got to look to take advantage of 1 and 3. That's been the advantage in the first 3 races.
Indeed it has. Tapes are up. We're roaring into the first corner. Super start there with Max Frick coming round the outside. Out in front, though, is Tom Brennan. Super start from him. Frick again going to the outside in turns 3 and 4. Can it work? Oh, that's tight coming in. That's a super effort from Frick. He really has worked it. Can Brennan come back up the inside? No, Frick gets to the front. That's a stunning ride.
Max Frick really making the bike work nicely in the dirt. There's not a lot of grip out there yet. You've got to go a long way without too much advantage, but he really did use all his throttle control, balance on the bike to get that little bit of extra traction. He's got it working really, really well. It's not very often Tom Brennan gets past around here at Birmingham, and with Dan Gilch getting the better of Leon Flint at the back, it's advantage Sheffield at the moment.
Indeed it is. Dukes did well there to come through to 3rd place. Frick plugging away around the outside. It looks like the race is won now. He now swaps back to the inside. Brennan is back in 2nd place. Smashing ride from Max Frick. Gets off to a terrific start there. And the Tigers peg back. Just 2 points in it now, 13 to 11. But Max Frick with that terrific effort. Get the feeling that Tom Brennan was... feeling that the inside was going to be the place to be, but Max Frick had other ideas. 3 points for him, Max Frick, 2 points for Tom Brennan, 1 point for Dukes in 3rd place, and Leon Flint misses out in heat number 4.
Ride of the night so far, certainly coming from Max Frick. Does so well in this race. Difficult from the outside gate. Once again, gates 1 and 3, slight advantage on the way to the corner. Leon Flint, just like Tom Brennan, runs around the inside. And Dan Gilch gets the better of him coming into turn 3. Max Frick now starts to work the outside, realises he's got his team partner behind him, he's not risking anything. What a lovely move around the outside. Love the way he just balances on the bike. Great throttle control, really got it working well. I think Tom Brennan, he'll be a little bit disappointed with that. As you say, Kelvin, he really thought that the inside was going to be the place to be, but Max Frick just making the dirt line work well.
Indeed he did. So that closes the margin down to 2 points right now from 4. Max Frick winning his first ride in fine style. Right, for the moment, let's get back down to Abby in the pits.
Cal, thank you. Well, it has been a stop-starting night so far, but at the moment, after 4 heats, it is advantage Brummies, helped no less by this man here, Victor Lampard. When we come back, it'll be heat 5. See them. So after 4 heats, it is Birmingham Brummies that have a 2-point advantage over 2023 champions Sheffield Tigers, 13-11. And we are joined by captain of the Birmingham side, Freddie. It's so good to see you in UK Soar. Still getting used to seeing you in yellow and red. Last time you were in the UK, you're riding for Wolves. You were there for a long, long time. What's it like now with the Brummies?
Well, obviously it's a different track than Wolves. You know, I was kind of used to that track and was knew it inside out. So it's taken me some time, I feel, to dial in on this home track. You know, I only had 2 home meetings so far, so it's going to take some time.
It's been difficult. I spoke to your manager, Sam Malenko, and he said, look, right from the start of the season, you've been on the back foot. You were such a, you know, a great bolt of a glimmer of hope for the side. Still inflicted with injuries, though, so it's just keeps on coming, doesn't it, Freddie? It's a tough challenge for the side. It's
been tough, definitely, but we can only do our absolute best, and I feel like all the boys tonight are very fired up, and we've been getting good so far, and that's key to winning Speedway.
Freddie, we're speaking Premiership, but I'm just going to mention that win in Gorshoff, and you must just, that moment just must have been so sweet.
Oh, definitely. I would say one of my better GPs overall.
Well done, and good luck for the rest of this evening. Let's rejoin Chris and Calvin.
Heat number 5 for you. Carl House will go from the inside in the yellow helmet colour. Hopefully his gremlins have been sorted out, but he's there, raring to go. Victor Lampard, a winner first time out. Gate number 2 in red. Jack Holder, gate number 3 in white, and Zach Cook off the outside in blue. Jack Holder, slightly disappointing in his first ride. Can he get off the start this time? I suggest if he can, he'll be a tough man to beat.
Yeah, the Sheffield pairing conceded a 5-1 in the opening heat, but they had the outside gates. They've got 1 and 3 this time.
They have indeed. Lampard, gate number 2. What can he do this time? He's away, sharpish though, Lampard. Wow, he's got there. Fantastic performance from the Polish rider. He gets himself to the front. Here comes Holder around the outside of Howarth. Howarth slipping back to third place, but Victor Lampard, tell you what, maybe falling off in your first ride is what it's all about, because he has bounced back in fine style here. Zach Cook is at the back, but Victor Lampard's doing the business out in front.
Well, I wouldn't recommend it, Kelvin, but it seems to have done him no harm whatsoever. Looking good out front. I think Sheffield maybe off gates 1 and 3 with Jack Holder and Kyle Howarth. Maybe would have expected a little bit more from this race. Jack Holder still plugging around the inside. He's not trying the Max Frick technique. He's now just venturing to the outside. Will the bike work better for him?
Here we go, 1 lap to go. Lampard looking good out in front. Holder again electing to come back to the inside. Hasn't quite worked out. Problems for Cook at the back. I tell you what, this is looking like a thrill. One last chance for Holder. Right out wide, charging on with a door slam shot. Victor Lampard, smart ride there. Got out of gate number 2. Not many people have done that this evening. And he's unbeaten. 2 rides and 2 wins. Super stuff from him. Just 2 points in it, but the Birmingham team lead the champions, the Tigers. And largely because of that man. He has been in sparkling form so far. Super ride. Result of heat number 5. Lampard really riding out of his skin tonight. 3 points for him. Jack Holder trying hard back in second place. 2 points. Howarth amongst the points for the first time this evening. 1 for him, and Zach Cook had a few problems and missed out in heat number 5.
Yep, the winner of heat 3 wins heat number 5. Victor Lampard, look at the way the bike just lurched just before he got to the corner. Had to really grab hold of the handlebars just to keep in control. And he goes out to the dirt, gets that bit of extra speed. Jack Holder settles into second place. Rode the inside line for 2 laps without really venturing too far wide, which surprised me, having seen Max Frick managed to put a pass around the outside. But I see Kyle Howarth there on the inside. Jack Holder immediately wanting to pin it down to the inside, and as you say, Zach Cook had a few problems at the back, got awfully tight at the finish line there, but Victor Lampard was not giving that one up.
Simon said involved in every
run.
Yes, it was, yeah. But Victor Lampard was not going to be passed on the run to the line and just squeezed Jack Holder up, and rightly so, he was in charge. Holder was trying that blast around the outside. We've only seen one rider really make that work so far this evening, and that's Max Frick, and he's up next. He's out here in heat number 6. Can he do it again? Freddie Lingren, of course, a Grand Prix superstar as well, so 2 Grand Prix riders going head-to-head here. Michael Palmtoft out for his second ride, who had a super-looking ride in his opening heat in heat number 1. So riders just approaching the tapes here for heat 6. 16 points to 14. I've got to say, this is a good effort from the home team so far. It really is. Sam Ermolenko just having a chat with his rider there, Lampard. Not too much to say. Well, probably just keep it going.
Yeah, say it again, please.
Exactly. He's doing the business for him. Line up for heat number 6. Freddie Lingren off the inside in the red helmet colour. Max Frick alongside him in gate number 2 in white. Michael Palmtoft, gate number 3 in blue. And Jason Edwards, who had a good ride actually in his first ride, off the outside with a warning in the yellow helmet colour. Palmtoft and Freddie Lingren off gates 1 and 3. On paper, the favourites for me here.
Yeah, they opened up heat number 1 off gates 1 and 3 the other way round with a 5-1, and they'll certainly be looking to do the same again. It's going to be tough against Max Frick, and as you say, Jason Edwards, winner of heat 2, looks pretty good when he got himself out front.
He did indeed. Got to say that Jason Edwards rode nicely in heat number 2. Max Frick, probably the ride of the night so far, with that surge round the outside. Michael Palmtoft should be a little bit more relaxed. Always nervous when you come back from an injury. Been on the sidelines, don't quite know how you're going to feel on the bike. Fair play to him, getting a paid win behind his captain in heat number 1. Palmtoft coming forward now. All 4 riders up at tapes. Here we go. Heat number 6. 16 points to 14. We're away. What a start from Max Frick. That bike has worked beautifully to the first turn. Got the better of Lingren. Lingren coming on strong up the inside, down the outside. It's tight again there. Certainly was indeed, with Edwards trying to get amongst it. Edwards has been forced wide, but Max Frick out in front. That bike was stunning off the start. He's now switched to the outside. Look at it go. It's pulling his arms off.
Yeah, Max Frick was great from gate 2. Really got the bike working well. Freddie Lingren got the better of Jason Edwards down the back straight. I've got to say, gates 2 and 4 worked really well for the Tigers that time around. They haven't been the better gates, but Max Frick made a great start. So did Jason Edwards. Freddie Lingren had to work on the first lap just to get up the inside of him, but race has settled down now. Max Frick looks fast, doesn't he?
Max Frick in sparkling form here this evening. Gets in for Ty Wofferden. Wider and wider the Australian goes. Freddie Lingren has adopted the same approach. He's electing to go wide, but he's no match for Frick here. Frick remains unbeaten. Smashing right from him. Lingren back in second place, but it's an advantage there for the visitors. And they square it up after half a dozen races here tonight. And the Tigers just beginning to settle into this meeting. Shocked in heat number 1, but by heat number 6 it's all square. Frick out in front, 3 points for him. Freddie Lingren back in second place, 2 points, 1 point for Jason Edwards, and Michael Palmtoft misses out there. But so there's no doubt Max Frick has got this bike working. An absolute treat tonight.
Yeah, Max Frick, class of his own so far this evening, makes a fantastic start there. Just has a little look to his left to see if Freddie Lingren's going to be coming up the inside. Freddie has to come up the inside there, the rider in yellow, Jason Edwards. And I thought at this point, when Jason Edwards just moved off the line, I thought Michael Palmtoft might be able to come through. He makes a mistake of his own and gives that little bit of extra space for Jason Edwards.
Indeed. Cracking on with it now. We had a slow start, but we're getting in the rhythm now. This is good news. Heat number 7, riders coming out. And we're on board with young Paco Castagna once again, who had a little bit of a tape infringement, had a hard task coming off 15 metres in heat number 2. He'll be hoping he can make a better fist of it this time off gate number 4. Tom Brennan, who was passed by Max Frick, looking like a winner early doors, but Frick had other ideas about that. And Holder, who Chris Holder that is, he had a disappointing opening ride, needs to get the bike off the start.
Yeah, it's a big help. We'll be on board with him, so we'll get all the action that he can bring us. Coming off the outside gate, it's going to be tough from there.
Indeed it will be. Line up for heat number 7. Chris Holder on the inside in the white helmet colour. Needs a ride here. Failed to score first time out. Tom Brennan, gate number 2 in red. Josh Pickering, gate number 3 with the yellow helmet colour on. And then Paco Castagna will go from the outside in the blue helmet colour. Josh Pickering, hard charge in second place first time out.
Yeah, 8-3, wasn't it? Really charging hard after Victor Lampard. Inside, outside, gave everything a go, but gate 3, Chris Holder off gate 1. As you say, Kelvin, he needs a big ride here. He can't open this meeting up with 2 poor rides.
Chris Holder gets going, then all of a sudden Sheffield Tigers could take command here in this meeting.
Yeah, changes the dynamic completely.
Yeah, absolutely right. Pickering and Holder should be really strong here, but there's no doubt that Tom Brennan is a very useful performer these days. We've seen Max Frick make a stunning start in the previous race out of gate 2, and Brennan's got it this time. He'll be hoping to replicate that. Pickering just taking his time now, coming forward. All 4 are there. Here we go. Heat number 7, 18 points all. Nothing to choose between the sides. And away we go, and Holder's made a much better start this time. A bit untidy. Look at Castagna though. Keep your eye down. Castagna is on the back wheel, just lost a little bit of momentum. Holder holds his place. He hits the front, running wide in turns 3 and 4. Fires himself to the front. Castagna coming through into second place with Brennan holding that inside line, but Holder out in front.
Yeah, Josh Pickering, all action at the back, actually hit the fence coming down the home straight on the first lap. Chris Holder, this is much more like the Chris Holder that we know, looking good out front, riding confidently out in the dirt line. And the Brummies are filling in the minor places, but Pickering is going to go at this for all 4 laps.
Yeah, Pickering is a key man now for the Tigers, but it's looking like a 3-all as they go into the last lap. Holder's gone further and further away, showing great speed. Really is class personified on the bike. Castagna picking up points here for the first time this evening as a guest in second place. It's a 3-all. Holder on the back wheel, winning in style. Pickering will be really, really frustrated with that. Gave it everything but failed to score. But still nothing to choose between the 2 sides now. 21 points apiece. But that is Holder all over. Chris Holder looking good out in front. Smart away from the tapes. And once he hit the front, there was really no holding. Paco Castagna was there momentarily, but Holder had the answers. Result for you. Heat number 7, 3 points for Chris Holder out in front. Paco Castagna, 2 points for him in second place. Tom Brennan back in third, 1, and Josh Pickering missing out in heat number 7. Nice ride from Holder, and the longer the race went on, the better he got, didn't he?
Yeah, he seemed to just be settling into the track, flowing with the bike, and he makes a really good start there off the inside gate. Moves across the corner, then realises that Tom Brennan's cutting back up the inside. You can see how hard he's working the bike. See the front wheel in the air, moves his body weight back on the seat. Now he's just moved forward to get into the corner, but had to work for that, got to say. Chris Holder, after a decent start, just moved a little bit wider than perhaps he felt he should have done. But we're on board with Paco Castagna now. Wide line on the first turn, gets himself into second place around the first turn, back straight. But really could do nothing with Chris Holder. Once he was in front, building up momentum quicker and quicker with every lap.
So there we are right now, after 7 races this evening. Very little to choose between these two teams. And right now, let's get back down to Abby in the pits.
Calvin, thank you. Well, nothing to choose between these two teams at the moment. 7 heats, 21 points apiece. Simon said, speaking to both of the Holder brothers, and there's smiles there. I might have to have steady. What's that? What's the happiness about?
Can't tell.
Can't tell. Okay. The hashtag tonight is Bershi. Wonder what you think they were all chatting about. Oh, we shall go and find out. See you after this. After 7 heats here at Perry Barr, there's nothing between the two sides, 21 points all currently. For you cycling fans, you can enjoy the Tour of Wallonia tomorrow, stage 2. That's in Belgium from 3:30 on Discovery Plus. You've got the Czech Tour cycling as well. That's their first stage. That's on Thursday, 2:30 on Discovery Plus. And of course, we're days away now from the Olympic Games, Paris 2024. 26th of July to the 11th of August. It's live on Eurosport, Discovery Plus and Max. But at the ROWE Motor Oil British Premiership, let's head to Manchester and get the latest from Dave Rowe.
Where Bellevue lead Oxford by 24 points to 18 after 7 races. Brady Kurtz is unbeaten at #1 for the home side. We've seen a great ride too by Chris Harris to get the better of Dan Bewley. But here's a big moment from earlier in the meeting. Ben Cook leading heat 3. Watch out for the action at the back here. Child right in yellow is collected by Jamin Lindsay in red. Big crash for the Australian off the 4th turn. Thankfully, as you see the action here once again, with Lindsay going down heavily, the good news is he managed to walk away from the incident and has raced on in the meeting. But a scary moment there for Jamin Lindsay in heat 3. He's okay, and Bellevue lead by 6 points. Bellevue 24, Oxford 18.
Dave, thank you. And before we get on with heat 8, just a quick word, Max. You've got that bike working well tonight.
Yeah, so far so good. It's nice to get out front and get a few clean laps. I haven't ridden here a great deal in the past, so it's nice to get some laps in front and try and learn it a little bit.
And how hard is it when you are guesting and you've got to come in? You've got obviously the pedigree and the profile that comes with you, Max, but obviously, you know, wanting to do a good job for Ty as well.
Yeah, I want to try and replace him the best I can. Obviously, he would be scoring a lot of points here today too, so hopefully I can fill in the best I can.
Max, keep it going. Back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Abby. Heat number 8 is with us, and Dan Gilks will go from the inside with the yellow helmet colour on this time. Leon Flint, gate 2 in blue. Carl Howarth out of gate number 3 in white, and Michael Palmtoff off the outside in red. Palmtoff has had a paid win and then failed to score last time. He'll be looking for better here. 21 points each. Birmingham are hanging tough right now against the champions. They need to keep it going though, because the Tigers will come on strong, particularly if their top guns really click. If Jack Holder, Chris Holder and Max Frick really get going, it will be a tough night. There's no question about that. They will rely heavily on all of their riders to really chip in. Yeah, they look strong towards the end of the meeting, don't they? Sheffield, that's for sure. Heat 13, Jack Holder, Max Frick. Yeah, they come good, but I think this one's going to go right down to the last couple of heats for sure. But Dan Gilks in this one, he's had a couple of important points that have been heat advantages for the Tigers. We'll need more of that in this one. Yeah, he's been battling hard, there's no doubt about it, young Dan. So Michael Palmtoff just coming forward now. And here we go. Leon Flint there on gate number 2. Can he make it? Oh, an untidy, Leon Flint nearly getting there. An untidy first turn, very untidy. Oh my goodness, how did they stay on? They do. They come roaring down the back straight. Young Gilks has hit the front here. Fantastic that was. Don't really know how it happened. I'll tell you what, Carl Howarth is all over the place. Oh my goodness gracious me. That was ruthless from Howarth.
Yeah, I've got a feeling that Leon Flint was having a problem anyway. I'm not really sure he's pulled up now at the back, but this is great from Dan Gilks, Kyle Howarth. Thought Kyle was going to join him down the back straight, but he had to wait till the corner. He had to wait till Leon Flint made a slight mistake. I'm not quite sure what the problem is with Leon Flint. He certainly looked like he was getting an uncomfortable ride, but this is a massive 5 points for the Sheffield Tigers.
Tigers out in front. It was all action. It was chaos through the first corner. How they stayed on, I'm not really quite sure, but at the end of the day, the Sheffield Tigers have got their noses in front here. Gilks out in front. Dan Gilks is doing a fine job. He moves on to 5 points. That's a very handy win for him. Carl Howarth coming ruthlessly there through into second place. Good ride from Howarth. A slow start to the night, but is that a defining moment in the evening at the midway point? Massive 5 points for the Sheffield Tigers. Leon Flint just maybe feeling a bit beaten up there, maybe. He has completed the race, but he's still under power, but did sort of must have had some sort of issue mid-race there. Result for you, Dan Gilks out in front, 3 points for him. Carl Howarth back in second place, 2 points. Michael Palm-Toff picking up the third place, 1 point for him, and Leon Flint missing out in heat number 8. I'm looking forward to seeing the first corner here, Chris, because this was really, they all ended up almost on the air fence.
Yeah, well, I think Leon Flint, after that first couple of corners, just needed to take a bit of a breather, but you can see here he stretches the left leg out, gets into the corner, runs very wide, he unsettles Kyle Howarth. Kyle doesn't think he's going to be out that wide. Kyle cuts back up the inside. Leon Flint, bike lifts there, it lifts again in this corner. He has to get off the gas there as Dan Gilks just cuts into the corner. And here, Kyle Howarth's coming through. Then at the same time, Leon Flint there, he just collects the fence, the bike lifts, loses a little bit of momentum. A little bit of a mistake from Leon, and Kyle Howarth taking no prisoners after that first turn. I think he felt a little bit aggrieved when Leon Flint came across him there, but Leon just going for the dirt, nothing wrong with that. But to get awfully tight in that first turn.
Indeed. So a big moment there for the visitors with that big 5-1 there. Right, let's get some reaction quickly with Scotty Nichols.
Yeah, thanks, Cal. I'm going to get a quick reaction with the man who was stuck in the middle of it there, Leon. It was certainly a tough race there, mate.
Yeah, I kind of lifted when he was coming across, but very frustrating. Yeah.
Did you have a problem with the bike, or was it just pure frustration and just try to get a bit of a breather after all the carnage?
I think so. I think so.
Thanks all for chatting to us, mate. It's a tough race. Back to you guys in commentary.
Heat number 9. We've got Max Frick, unbeaten so far. He goes from the inside in the white helmet colour. Zach Cook will go from gate number 2 in blue. Jason Edwards, gate 3 in yellow, and off the outside is Victor Lampard in red. So 2 unbeaten riders here going head-to-head on gates 1 and 4. Lampard has made smashing starts and has been all action. Max Frick coming from behind to get the better of Tom Brennan first time out. Second time out, made an immaculate start away from gate number 2. Can Lampard keep it going here? Because Frick looks very impressive.
It's going to be interesting to see what happens in the first turn with these two coming from opposite ends of the track. I think right now Victor Lampard might have the advantage because Max has been relying on the dirt. He's been riding out wide, so it's going to be an interesting first turn.
Lampard won't be frightened of that first turn. He'll roar around in the dirt, that's for sure. Brave rider. Frick, as you rightly say, on the inside of the track. It's slick there now in the first turn. If he makes it, will he elect to just charge up and try and get to the dirt first, or will he elect to go round that inside? Those decisions will have to be made. Split-second decisions as you get into the first corner. And heat number 9. Right, it's just taking a few moments now before they come forward. 23 seconds to go before they have to be ready to go. So heat number 9. 26 points to the Tigers. 22 points for the Birmingham Brummies. Can the Brummies bounce back now? Lampard, who's been in sparkling form tonight so far. Green lights on, tapes are up, we're underway. we're charging into the first corner. What a start that is. Brilliant stuff there from Cook. Really made it walk as they go roaring in. And here comes Frick. Lampard's out the back. But Zach Cook, who really was out of sorts in his last ride, got it together there brilliantly. He's out in front. Edwards has come through into third place. And that's a good move for him. It's a 3-all on the card. And Cook looks really, really good this time. He's turning it around.
Yeah, we were completely focused on Max Frick and Victor Lampard, and it's Zach Cook that's out front, as you say, looking good. Max Frick at this point's got absolutely no answer for him, and yeah, it's strange to see Jason Edwards there. It's not so strange to see Jason, but Victor Lampard at the back. Jason Edwards coming through on the inside, and Lampard really doesn't seem to have followed track conditions with his bike setups, getting left behind.
Indeed, I'll tell you what, the bike setup of Zach Cook, rather, is absolutely spot on. He's won that comfortably, and Max Frick tailed off in second place. Brilliant ride there from the home rider, and he does the business. Had a slow start, but turned it around there. Just had 1 point from his first 2 rides, and the second one where he was tailed off in fourth, not very impressive at all, but that time out, very, very good indeed from Zach Cook. 3 points for him. Max Frick back in second place, 2 points for him. Jason Edwards, a handy third place there, 1 point for him, and Victor Lampard drops points for the first time this evening. A 3-all, and we see it again.
Yeah, it's, we were talking and focused on Max Frick and Victor Lampard, and it's Zach Cook that makes a brilliant start, just posts the back wheel in the edge of the dirt. Max Frick looks to cut back to the inside, then he realises that Victor Lampard's going to be coming around the outside, moves across the track, makes sure he stops that run, but really throughout the race had no answer to the speed of Zach Cook, who'd run a last in his second ride in Heat 5. And the surprise for me here was that Victor Lampard could not make an impression on this race whatsoever. He didn't make a good start, didn't make a committed run around the outside in the dirt, really never got it together at all.
So there we go. Weren't Zach Cook, we overlooked him, and wrongly, because he performed very well there indeed. 25 points for the home team, 29 points for the visitors, the Tigers, so they're in charge right now. And a 3-all there was not a disaster. Victor Lampard just slipping up there, bit of a blow for the home team. Riders ready for heat number 10. Another eye-catching ride here. Heat lineup rather, with Freddie Lingren and Chris Holder going head-to-head. Michael Palmtoff, as you would expect, a little tentative. You know, he's had a serious operation on his right shoulder. He's on 3 points from his 3 outings, and there he goes. He's a debutant for the Birmingham Brummies this evening. And he's my man to watch. But they're both out here together with Chris Holder as well, who had a poor first ride but a stunning second one. And he'll be going head-to-head with Freddie Lingren.
Yeah, Chris looking much more like his old self in Heat 7 with that win over Tom Brennan. But yeah, interesting looking race, this one. Both the ones you would expect to hit the front from the start. Chris Holder, gate 3, Freddie Lingren, gate 4. It's going to be a race to the first turn and a race to the dirt line, I think.
Line up for heat number 10, Josh Pickering on the inside in the yellow helmet colour. Gate number 2 in blue is Michael Palmtoff. Chris Holder alongside him in gate 3 in white. And Freddie Lingren, who dropped a point last time out, goes from the outside in red. Track's gone slick as well, really slick, very quickly. I think that didn't help riders in that last one. Really starting is going to be an absolute premium right now. Pickering's going to be fired up. Didn't score last time, he won't like that.
No lack of effort as usual, and he made a lot of ground up in that race, so he's definitely got the speed.
Indeed he has. Can Lingren do the business here for the home team off the outside gate? It's hard. He's going to have to try and get into that first corner. Holder got the bike working from the tapes much better last time. He had gate 1, and once he hit the front, showed a good turn of speed. So the home team trying to get right back in it. They're 4 points behind. They do not want to give too much advantage to the Tigers. You can use a tactical substitute, of course, when you go 6 points down. That'll be a discussion that Sam Ermolenko possibly is having with Leon Flynn. We will wait and see at the outcome of heat number 10. We're underway. What a start that is from Pickering. He's chucked with that. He fires himself to the front. What a first turn from Lingren. That's world class. Fabulous stuff from Lingren. He charges to the front. Pickering's out there as well. Here comes Holder now through into third place with Toft at Michael Palmtoft at the back with Freddie Lingren riding out of his skin on the first turn.
Now, we were just saying how the track's drying out, the dirt doesn't have the moisture in it to give you the advantage, but Freddie Lingren made it work absolutely perfectly. He only had one thing on his mind when he dropped the clutch off gate 4, that was just to get into the dirt as quickly as he could, let the bike run, and he gets a lovely run around the outside of Pickering and Holder. Race settling down, there's no advantage with Michael Palmtoft at the back. This is really certainly the home side. The Brummies need more than this.
This will do for the Tigers. They'll hang on to that 4-point lead. Lingren stunning out in front. Michael Palmtoft just struggling a little bit back there in 4th place. Out of the last corner, Freddie Lingren, wow. Very impressive indeed. Particularly that first turn. Looking forward to seeing it again. He really did ride around in the dirt. It was top class stuff from him. Really is in good form here this evening. And has only dropped a point so far. So smashing result there for Freddie, but the home team were looking for more. Lingren out in front, 3 points for him. Josh Pickering, 2 points in 2nd place, 1 point for 3rd place for Chris Holder, and Michael Palmtoft misses out in heat number 10. This was a little bit like what Max Frick did earlier on, but possibly even more impressive because he went even wider.
Yeah, you can see that Freddie's only got one thing on his mind. From gate 4, he's just gone straight to the dirt line. He's got there before Chris Holder, gone all the way around the outside. Josh Pickering's won the battle around the first turn over Michael Palmtoft. That's all he needed to do. But Freddie Lingren, wow, he's riding so well. We see it in the Grand Prix. He really is riding better at times than I've ever seen him ride. Bikes are working well, but he, at the age of 38, is riding like a youngster, isn't he?
He did, yeah, and he had a desperate moment actually after a couple of poor Grand Prix, but really has dug deep, won his national championship, and there's no doubt that he has bounced back in fine style. So good stuff from Freddie, but work to be done for the home team. They are 4 points back, 28 points for the home team, 32 points for the Sheffield Tigers. Castagna coming out here, partnering Tom Brennan this time for the home team. They've got gates 1 and 3. They'll be hoping that they work well. Castagna, who unfortunately did touch the tapes in his first ride, then went off 15 metres, couldn't get amongst the points, came back into it in his second ride with a handy 2nd place. A good move actually for Castagna early in the race. He'll need to keep that going. There we are, on board with him as they approach the tapes. Jack Holder out here for the Sheffield Tigers with his teammate Carl Howarth, who was really fired up in his last ride after a hectic first corner. Leon Flint was involved in that as well. But this is important times. We're getting towards the end of the night. And there's no doubt that the home team will want to put some pressure back on the Tigers. There's no doubt about that. They won't want to see them pull away even further. Line up for heat number 11. Brennan's off the inside in the red helmet colour. Gate number 2 in white, Jack Holder. Paco Castagna out of gate number 3 in blue, and off the outside is Howarth with the yellow helmet colour. Can Howarth do something similar like Freddie did? Freddie, as you say, he lined up just literally pointing towards the fence, didn't he? He didn't even try and come across. He just had made that decision.
Yeah, he knew he'd got a rider of the calibre of Chris Holder on the inside of him. Didn't want to get mixed up with that. Just said, I'll make the best start I can. I will go straight for the dirt line, hope that the run is on when I get round to the exit of turn 2. The gap was left there for him and he took it.
Indeed. If they go 6 points down here in heat number 11, wouldn't be at all surprised to see Freddie Lingren come out in heat number 12. That may well be what Chris Adams and Sam Ermolenko, the joint team managers here, were discussing just there. Here we go, though. Heat number 11. We're away. Holder's made a lovely start. He hits the front. Round the first turn they go. Howarth coming into the middle of it. Oh, Castagna. Oh, my goodness. That's tight down the back straight. Goodness. They all stay upright. That's good news indeed. Out in front, though, is Jack Holder coming through in the 2nd place. Brennan. Now Castagna and Howarth having an almighty battle for 3rd place.
Yeah, great move from Paco Castagna. Carl Howarth coming back at him now. He gets off the throttle, he decides he can't do it. And out front at the moment, looking very good for the rider in white, Jack Holder. Once he hits the front, difficult man to pass these days. But it's another 3 points as it stands. But I'll tell you what, Kyle Howarth keeps just nipping away there at Paco Castagna.
Brennan coming on strong in second place. Holder just about holding on to it. Castagna in third. He's got a lap to go. Can Howarth do anything about it? It'll still be 4 points the margin. No tax subs allowed. So not quite working out for the home team with Holder out in front. Lovely ride from Jack Holder. Brennan not really having the night he was looking for. Hasn't managed to win a race this evening, the home rider. Jack Holder has, though. Heat number 11 belongs to him. Great battle for third. It really was a tough battle between Castagna and Howarth there. Really going at it. But for Jack Holder, sharp away from the tapes. Result for you for heat number 11. Oh, Jack Holder, 3 points for him. Tom Brennan back in second place, 2 points. Paco Castagna, all action in third place, 1 point for him, and Kyle Howarth misses out in heat number 11. 31 points to 35. Sam Ermolenko and Chris Adams can't make a change.
Heat number 11, and cracking start from Jack Holder from gate 2 there. Just gets the bike to the corner, gets across, stops running Tom Brennan. Tom makes a mistake there at the same time. Paco Castagna was running out of room on the outside there. I think the footrest just touching the fence. And he makes a beautiful cutback. Good timing as far as Paco Castagna is concerned. Kyle Howarth, bike just lifts, loses a bit of momentum. Paco's forceful up the inside. Really important move from Paco just to grab that third place and keep the scoreline at 4 points, trailed by 4 points.
Indeed, there you can see it clearly. With Brennan coming across the front of Paco Castagna, got very tight there.
Brakes on.
Absolutely.
He got fortunate just there though, as he made the cutback. Kyle Howarth just lost a bit of momentum with the front wheel coming up in the air and just allowed Paco back up the inside.
Coming out of the last turn, so good battle between Howarth and Castagna there, just for 1 point. For the moment, let's get back down to Abby.
Calvin, Chris, thank you. 4 heats remaining, just 4 points separating the two sides. Sam Ermolenko, you can see the chat, you can see they're hard at work looking at the programme. They can't make a tactical sub at the moment. They need 6 points deficit to do that. But maybe he's just lining up Freddie in case that happens. It's tight, though, still here. We've got a big push for Birmingham Brummies at the bottom of the table, and they want to give this home crowd something to cheer about. Remember the hashtag. It is Bersheen. We'll see you after this. After 11 heats here in Birmingham, it's 31-35. So the home side just trailing Sheffield Tigers by 4 points. There was a bit of a team meeting happening in that break, though, with Sheffield Tigers. Sheffield have been a little inconsistent on the road, and they're going to want to increase their performance, their away performance, as we edge closer to the playoffs. Let's head to Manchester and to Dave Rowe.
Where Bellevue lead Oxford by 8 points after 11 races, 37-29. Don't forget they were 16 down from the reverse fixture on Thursday. They brought in Antivulos in blue here as a guest rider tonight, but they do have a place in a space reserved. They need to bring in somebody to replace Tate Zischke, and Vulos have been riding really well, battling hard with the likes of Eric Riss in this race, heat number 11. He could be the man for Bellevue. They lead here by 8 points. Bellevue 37, Oxford 29.
Dave, thank you. Let's join Scotty now out on the track.
Yeah, thanks, Abby. I'm going to have a little chat with the gruesome twosome in commentary, Chris Louis and Kelvin Tatum. Your thoughts on the night so far? I mean, Birmingham, to be fair, are hanging in there.
Well, they are indeed. They got off to a really good start, of course, with the big 5-1 in heat number 1. I'm interested to know, actually, the way the track's behaving now, because it was clearly there were some plumes of dust in as early as heat number 1, but it's drying out. We can see a blue groove also developing.
Yeah, it is, and I think it's at that point where you're going to see the riders picking kind of either stick to that blue groove or going out really wide. You did it on your track piece, Kelvin. That first and second turn is the one for me where you can really, if the dirt is not there, that off camber can really catch you out coming out of the turns.
Scott, Sheffield will have the choice of gates in heat 15. How is the start line now? Does it look fairly even? I mean, 1 and 3 was working early on, but how's it look now?
Yeah, and I think so. I think I'll go to 4 in a minute, but if you look at gate one has actually got a little bit of moisture in it. The boys can potentially pack the ruts in, but the cameraman pans down here. This is the headache the boys have, that when they jump at the start, Chris, as you'll know, look how it's crisscrossing here. You've got this sharp ridge here, so they can get a good drive right there, but they've got to look at what's happening here. When you move across to gate 2, there's a few ruts. I mean, I always prefer to go from fresh. I think it's better. You've got some nice fresh here, but then you got this narrow little piece here that your bike is going to go all squirrely. You're going to crisscross everywhere, so you're probably going to have to line up in a rut. If we quickly shoot to the outside of gate 4, it's just all loose stuff here, but you can see right there, you're on the racing line, so it's exceptionally tough to get right across. Freddie Lingren made a good fist of it by sticking right down the fence and following that high line out, but I think 1 and 3 is possibly the favoured gate positions. Back to you guys.
Thanks very much, Scott. We'll keep a good eye on that. They have actually put a little bit of water down on the track as well, and that may just make it a little greasy because the track has gone very slick quite quickly there. We've got a change in heat number 12 with Leon Flint being replaced by Paco Castagna for the home team. Victor Lampard about here once again. He's had a couple of wins and a 4th place. Cutout switch just coming off there, so the bike's packed up as it came out of the pits. You'll be hoping that isn't the case when he's going around. That one. But you can kind of understand that. Leon Flint not having a great night. He's got a couple of points, but Paco Castagna just looks like he's prepared to give a little bit more and get amongst them.
Yeah, Leon got beat up in heat 8, and kind of as I thought, actually. It's wrong to say he gave up, but he had to take a breather after the opening lap. It was all a bit strange for him, that first lap in heat 8, but no, Paco Castagna, I think it's a good move. His job will be to get the better of Jason Edwards in this one, first of all, but of course nothing stopping Paco winning the race. But for me, it's going to be interesting to see how Victor Lampard responds from his last place.
Line up for heat number 12. Lampard's out again here. He's off the inside in the red helmet colour. Jason Edwards, gate number 2 in yellow. Paco Castagna, the tactical substitute, coming out of gate number 3 in blue. And Chris Holder off the outside in the white helmet colour. 4 points in it. 35 points to the Tigers, 31 to the Brummies. And heats are beginning to run out now. A little bit of concern on the face of Sam Ermolenko, the team manager for the home team. Needs his team somehow to work it out. Get a heat advantage, close in and put pressure on the visitors with the big heat 13 to come in the very next race. Big race for the home team now.
Yeah, the home team really need to do something about this 4-point deficit. Heat 13 is heat 13. It's so competitive, you just don't know what's going to happen. Heat 14 for me looks like it could possibly be an advantage to the home side, so this could go right down to the wire.
Here we go then. Heat number 12. Tapes are up and they roar into the first turn. And it's Lampard gets there. He's in no man's land. When he, oh, that's tight coming off the first turn. Look at Holder coming up the inside. Fantastic move from him, but Victor Lampard made it work. Not quite sure how, but he's hanging on out in front. Got to say, Jason Edwards there hanging tough as well. In 3rd place with Paco Castagna out the back. But Lampard, he's fired himself to the front again.
Yeah, this time it's Paco Castagna that gets himself beaten up on the opening lap. A little bit difficult with the track conditions, with water going down on the outside and Paco Castagna getting caught out. But Lampard hits back in style after running a last place last time out. But 3 points once again for the home side, doesn't pull those points back.
Here we go. Holder coming on strong in 2nd place there. Lampard just beginning to spin up. Look at Holder, he's on the back wheel, gone by him. Oh, stunning move from Chris Holder. Not quite sure how he did it. Front wheel was almost touching the sky. Oh, it's a 5-1. Edwards coming through. Lampard, who was looking like a winner, with half a lap to go, suddenly got beaten up there and has gone from first to 3rd. And the Sheffield Tigers. What a hammer blow that is for the Brummies. Don't quite know how Chris Holder got by there. He was pulling a massive wheelie. He reared violently, but still managed to keep his momentum. And Jason Edwards got up the inside as well. What a stunning result for the visitors. Heartbreak for the Brummies there.
Chris Holder, 3 points for him out in front. Really nice ride there. Jason Edwards, terrific off the last corner to come through in second place. 2 points. Victor Lampard will be reflecting on that and thinking, don't quite know how I got beat there. 1 point for him. 40 points now, 32 to the Brummies, 8 points in it.
Well, heat 12, that could seal the deal for the visitors. They go 8 points ahead. And a strange ride from Victor Lampard here. Actually, it's the Brummies that make the start here. And Paco Castagna goes very wide there. Then he realises that the inside has worked for the Sheffield Tigers. Jason Edwards on the outside now. He's got that little bit of extra grip that Paco Castagna needs. But we're on board with Paco here. Once again, he's out very wide, looking for that extra traction that's not there for him. Gets filled in by his teammate Victor Lampard, who hits the front. I don't know what happens to Victor Lampard on the last lap. Chris Holder certainly on the back wheel gets past him, but he just seems to move into mid-track. You can't ride mid-track around there. It's got to be the inside or very outside in the dirt. This is where we see Chris Holder now. He gets up the inside, looks like he's going to pass him. I think Victor Lampard just has to get off the throttle. He thinks he's going to get ridden into, gets off the gas, moves out the way, and it almost just puts Victor off. And Jason Edwards keeps the gas on the inside there, sees his opportunity, rides around the inside, and that is a massive 5 points for the Tigers.
Simon Stead will be really pleased with that. His team have been poor on the road of late. They've had injury problems. They found guests hard to come by. But all of a sudden, they really have stamped their authority on this evening here in Perry Barr. And Chris Holder has played a significant role in that. Well, just for a moment, we can pop down to the pits. And Scotty's waiting for us.
Yeah, Kelvin, I'm actually on the first and second bend. I'm just going to pull out that bit that Chris Holder hit. Just what they call a blue groove. You can see where the rubber's starting to go down. The track surface changes colour. But it's these little ridges, these little bits here. And then if we come out to here, you can see it's a nice darker shade. This is nice and tacky. And there's another couple little ridges there. Chris Holder getting all that spin there, catches those little bits. As you boys know, the bike reacts. And he got that slingshot up the inside. Back to you guys.
Yeah, nice stuff. It was quite an eye-catching moment, no question about that. Heat number 13 is with us. Jack Holder goes from the inside in the white helmet colour. Freddie Lingren out of gate number 2 in red. Max Frick, gate number 3 in yellow. And Tom Brennan will go from the outside in blue. And a 5-1 is really what they need now, the home team. Really have got to come on strong. Heat's running out. 8 points up here, the visitors. And this is quite a lineup. This is not an easy race to call.
No, and you have to think that with the firepower that the Tigers are going to have available for Heat 15, you're absolutely right. Nothing but a 5-1 is probably going to do them here.
So it's tight here. Nigel Tolley on the left-hand side there.
Do you think he's got a rabbit in that hat?
Well, he's hoping to pull one out of a hat because they're going to need it, aren't they? Because there's no doubt that with 8 points down with 3 races to go, they are up against it. And there's no doubt that Mr. Lingren and Brennan here are going to have to really produce a stunning performance. Lingren was great last time, no doubt about that, but it's off gate 2. Gate 2 has worked quite well.
It's not been bad.
No, it hasn't been bad at all. Jack Holder was a winner for the first time in his 3rd ride, and that was his last time. Smashing race, here we go. Heat number 13. Green lights on, tapes are up, and we're going to roar into the first corner. It's tight. Freddie Lingren's made a nice start. He hugs the inside. Frick's gone right, round the outside. Holder's come through up into 2nd place. Brennan is out the back. Freddie Lingren will be a hard man to pass. But Max Frick through the bucket in there, coming out of turn 4. But Lingren has resisted that. He's now going to get away. You've got to believe he's going to do that. But a 3-all will do nicely for the Tigers.
Yeah, difficult for Max to get past Freddie, but Freddie's actually now decided that the inside's the way he's got to cover it. He's realised that the outside is a long way to go. There's a bit of rubber down. All we can see there is just picking up a little bit of grip, same place that Chris Holder did in his previous ride. But at the moment, it's a queue around the inside. The track seems to be quickest around the inside, but this is only 3 points for the home side. They really need Tom Brennan to join the party, but he's going backwards.
It's tight out in front. Max Frick's going to have one last go here. Right round the air fence. He's going to get close on the line, but Freddie just hails on. And Lingren is in good form tonight, but Tom Brennan not having the evening he would have wished for. Failing to score there in heat number 13. Very competitive lineup. Somebody has to finish there. But that man, the captain of the home team, doing the business. But the Tigers are within touching distance of a victory on the road here. Lingren out in front, 3 points for him. Max Frick back in second place, 2 points. Jack Holder 1 for third. And Tom Brennan misses out in heat number 13. 43 points to 35, 8 points up. It's nearly there for the Tigers.
Yeah, it's very nearly there for the Tigers. Could go down to a super heat. I believe they have had one here already this year. But this race is an interesting race because Freddie Lingren believes, quite rightly, that the outside is going to be the fastest place. It's what he's done for most of the night. And he makes a decent start there off gate 2. Difficult, he's got Holder on the inside, he's got Frick on the outside of him, but he just goes right around the inside. Realises from the first turn, well, that's worked for me, there's rubber down there, I'm getting a little bit of extra traction from that. Then he goes to the outside, but just, you know, he's coming under so much pressure from Max Frick. See the bike lifting there on the inside, and he soon realised he'd got to cover that off. But Max Frick, he'll ride anywhere. That last corner was real close as he moved to the outside, generated a lot of speed.
Indeed he did. We're hearing that Lingman's going to get another ride in the very next race in heat number 14. Can they drag it round here, the home team? Couple of points required. So let's get some reaction. Abby's down there for us.
And I've got to be kind because he said, please don't beat me down. Sam, it was such a strong start to the night, but they've really just pushed you guys.
Yeah, strong, I don't think it was that strong. We should have been at least 6 points up, you know, and we should have been in front. The weak side of it was we weren't in front, so we had no cushion to have these kind of things happen towards the tail end. We're starting to find the solutions when it comes to the end, like 13s and 15s, but you know, it's just not. It's been a tough road for these guys here at Birmingham, and Perry Barr fans deserve a lot more than this. But it's all the tools we have to work with right now, and we're working with them.
And you said to me before the evening even started, it's only been one meeting that you haven't had. One meeting that you've had your full 1 to 7. That's tough to have so much change.
It is. You know, we try to bring the positive side of things out of everything that goes wrong, you know. Something can go wrong and you say, okay, what do we do? We got to deal with it. You know, the track is very difficult for these promotion to get it right for both sides of the teams. You know, there's always going to be something that's going to be in our way we found so far this year. But I don't think it's doom and gloom. We just got to learn from this thing, and they got to learn as well, you know, and I'm having a good learning curve as well.
Yeah, I'm sure. And Freddie has been a bright star for you guys tonight. Are you making a change?
Absolutely. I put Freddie in this one as well. I asked him well before. I seen it coming, you know. It was like 3 in a trot, buddy, can you do it? So right now it's about survival of the tire. Yeah. So right before I came in here, I just made sure that they were thinking about that.
Sam, thank you for chatting and for your honesty. Back to you, gentlemen.
Yes, thank you very much indeed. Freddie Lingman coming into heat number 14. They're 8 points back. Couple of points required for the Sheffield Tigers, and they will clinch the meeting, and they will pick up the points here. 2 5-1s, and we'll have a super heat. But that does seem quite a tall order. But there's no doubt a 3-all in heat number 14, and the Sheffield Tigers will go away with the points, and they will be pleased about that. They were favourites coming into tonight. So we're getting some information from the pits as well that Leon Flint hasn't had as many rides, so Freddie's going to use his tyre here. That is permitted within the rules because the tyres do wear down, and Flint's tyre will be a little fresher, so that makes sense. And he'll use that in heat number 14, where he is replacing Paco Castagna. Furious work going on there. He's going to have 3 on the trot here. It's just one heat 13. If he could win the last 3, that would be quite a feat. But that tyre will be a little cooler than the other one, but nonetheless, you can understand the move.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, when you get to this stage in any meeting, you're always up and down the pit lane, manager looking for the best edges.
Scotty's there for us.
Yeah, quickly talking about that best edge has just gone out. The race edge, Leon Flint's tyre, that race edge that you just mentioned, Chris, that was almost a brand new edge, just slightly worn. So hopefully that give Freddie the advantage and get the Brummies back in it. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Scott. Yeah, just running away from him there, but we did see the work going on with Freddie's bike. And they'll be hoping that the slightly younger tyre will do the business here in heat number 14, but he needs support. Zach Cook was better last time out, though.
Yeah, Scott saying that edge is nearly new. Of course, we saw Leon Flint pull out of a race after one lap, so that would probably explain why he's got such a good tyre there.
So there we are. Freddie, who uses a belt drive on the front as well. Not so many riders use that, but he's very happy with it and has been sticking with it for the last couple of seasons. Substitute here. Got a gate number 2 in white. Gate 3 will win earlier on. Very good indeed. Simon Stead will be keen to clinch it now. He won't want it to go to heat 15 if at all possible. 3 points here, even a couple of points here, and the meetings is theirs.
Yeah, and the flip side is the Brummies, the home side, know they've got to have 5 points in this race. They're going to have to work together. There's no question that Freddie Lindgren is going to have to be looking over his right shoulder to see where Zach Cook is in the first turn.
Indeed. Josh Pickering out. Not an easy man to hold back, though. He'll be certainly making sure that they can win the meeting there. Chris Holder will be. He'll be keen to try and win the night. His young son Max is here as well. That's great to see. Family affair there. 2 generations of holders in the pits tonight. We're away. Look at that from the home team. Lingren's made the start. Cook's there. Freddie Lingren is going to have to the class of team riding now, because Pickering is lurking in 3rd place. Lingren's doing the business, holding the inside. Cook away from gate number 3, and they're there. 5-1 on the cards.
Looking good for the Brummies now. Pickering's moved to the outside. Initially, he's lost a bit of ground. Seems to be making it back up now, and he will race for all 4 laps. But as I suggested, Freddie Lindgren had a couple of looks over his shoulder to try and get his teammate into a comfortable position, just allowing him into the corner each time. Perfect riding from Freddie Lindgren.
Brilliant stuff from Fast Freddie, coming in as a tactical substitute here. He's allowed his teammate around the outside, and they're dominating now in heat number 14. And this is a massive lifeline. Brilliant performance. Home team really digging deep there in heat number 14. And they're still alive in this meeting. It was looking odds on that the Sheffield Tigers would clinch it there. They still can, of course, in heat 15. But back in 2nd place, 2 points. Just the 1 point, as hard as he tried. Couldn't script it. Brilliant stuff from the home team there.
Yeah, brilliant stuff, and Freddie Lindgren playing a real captain's role in heat 14 as he comes in to replace Paco Castagna. Great ride from Freddie. Take a look at it again. Look at the start that Freddie makes immediately halfway to the corner. Has a look over his right shoulder, then he has another look in the middle of the corner, another look as he leaves the corner, constantly looking to make sure that Zach Cook's going to have the momentum to get around the outside of him, and it's not going to be Josh Pickering. Josh looks on the inside, he hovers around the inside, really putting the boys under pressure for the first couple of laps. Then he moves to the outside, loses his speed, goes backwards, and it's all over for Sheffield in heat 14. 5 massive points for the home side.
Absolutely, huge moment there for the home team. As I say, a lifeline with 1 race to come, or possibly 2. 44 points to 40 right now. Another 5-1 required by the home team for a superheat, possibly. Right, let's get down to Abby.
Thanks, Cal. Samo Malenko just said it's not done yet. Freddie Lindgren's going to go out again in heat 15. That'll be 3 on the trot. There's lots of activity happening around his bike, and a word from the team manager as well. Big heat 15 coming up, and that hashtag Bershi. With 1 heat remaining, well, actually, it could be 2 heats if it goes to a superheat, and Birmingham can get another 5-1 in this last heat 15. But as it stands, 40-44 Let's take a breath for a moment and just remind you of the other motorsport you can enjoy. It includes the World Superbikes. It's round 7 for them. They're in Algarve in Portugal, 10th to 11th of August on Discovery Plus. British Superbikes round 7 as well. They're in Thruxton, same weekend on Discovery Plus, and both are live on Quest. And the Speedway Grand Prix round 7 is in Cardiff, 17th of August on Eurosport 2. Let's join Scotty now, the team managers and their picks for Heat 15.
Yeah, thanks, Abby. I have the team manager here. I'll come to Simon Stead first from Sheffield. You have the gate choice in Heat 15. You almost had it sewn up before this, but fair play to Birmingham. They threw the tactical in and they put themselves back in the game.
Yeah, it's been a bit like that all the way through the meeting, hasn't it? So, look, I think having gate choice could prove vital in this one, but, you know, we're going to take gates 1 and 3, and we're going to put Max Frick off gate 1 in white and Jack Holder in gate 3 off in yellow.
And Max has done a great job for you. Obviously, Ty's a hard man to replace, and team spirit and everything's key, but he's come in and done a great job. Yeah,
he has. We've been pretty good with our guests the last couple of meetings. We had Tom at home on Thursday just gone, and he did a great job for us as well. So it's not difficult, as you know, Scotty. Getting guests and what have you is difficult, but yeah, been so far.
Okay, thanks, Simon. Your forward is going to be your you kind of the whole season. It's really hard to get that team spirit going, but the boys are dug deep tonight.
Yeah, we wanted this tonight. We had to deal with all the elements, Sheffield being one of them, and we're still doing it.
Here you are, it's coming down. You've got yourselves back in to that Heat 15 last heat decider. Who are you going out with, please?
And we're going to put Zach Cook, which has done a tremendous job for us. He's going to be on gate number 2, riding in helmet color red, and we're going to put Fast Freddie, about on the outside gate in the blue helmet color.
I'm sure Fast Freddie wants to talk a little bit longer, give him a bit more breathing space.
Nah, he's actually fit. You know, the guy's amazing. He is just amazing. He's been a big credit to our club right now. Took over the captaincy. And it shows today that we got a unit again. And I know it's with mixed match guys, but when we get all...
I think so. Teams.
Got it. No, Sheffield Tigers, and they will win the night. 5-1 for the home team, and we will go to Heat 16 and a super heat. It was a super heat the last time these two met here. It's been a terrific fight back from the home team. Got to say, they have showed a lot of character here this evening. It was looking like, with the 8-point lead for the Sheffield Tigers, it was all plain sailing for them, but they have battled back very well.
Yeah, I've certainly never thrown the towel in, and it's good to see they're still in a position to fight for the points.
Yep, Sheffield Tigers on just a nail-biting moment, really. They were cruising along quite nicely, but there's no doubt that they have come under pressure as we come towards the conclusion of tonight's meeting. Smashing looking lineup here for heat number 15. Jack Holder, Max Frick, an Australian lineup there. Freddie, 3 on the spin. Can he do it? Really is going great guns for the Birmingham Brummies. And Zach Cook, who's turned his form around. He started slowly this evening, but last couple of outings he's really has come good. He's won both of those.
Yeah, this pair with the 5-1 last time out, Cook and Lingren, but gates 1 and 3 last time out. It's a very different situation this time. With the outside gates, it's going to be a little bit more difficult from there. Yeah.
It's dried right out, and again, more difficult to do, particularly up against quality opposition like Frick and Holder on the inside. It might just have fallen right here in Heat 15 on the gates here for the Tigers. So you've got to believe that they will be favourites coming into it, but still nervous times. That Heat 14 was a stunning result for the Brummies. Really showing fighting spirit there with Cook and Lingren to get the better of Pickering and Gilks.
A key to this is Cook coming off gate 2. If he doesn't get over Max Frick, I think in terms of the result, it's all over for the home team.
Yeah, and Frick will be a tough customer. You can sense that Frick, in the form he's in, he will make every effort off the inside gate. He could well be the favourite for the win here in number 15. So away we go. Just a few technical issues there. That's why we had a slight delay for you, but they seem to have been resolved, and we are going to allow the riders to come out. Smashing night at Speedway, Premiership Speedway. We missed out last week because the weather got the better of us, but we're back here tonight in Birmingham, and it's been an entertaining evening once again. And Zach Cook, who was formerly a Birmingham rider, who was actually replaced by the rider he now pairs up with. Can't write it, can you? Line up for heat 15. Max Frick goes from the inside in the white helmet colour. Alongside him in gate number 2 is Zach Cook, red helmet colour. Jack Holder out of gate number 3 in yellow. And Freddie Lingren will go from the outside in blue. Freddie is 38 years of age, but he is a specimen. He is an athlete.
A specimen,
so
that's nice.
Well, he is, isn't he? He really does take care of himself.
He's a fine specimen.
He is a fine specimen. Yeah, you're right. I missed out a word there. A fine specimen indeed. And he has ridden out of his skin and done a fine job for his team. He's only dropped 1 point this evening from his 5 outings. Really has been in sparkling form. Can the home team keep it going? You can't bet against them. It was looking like it was all over in heat number 14, but they just came good there. Can the same partnership do it out of gates 2 and 4 now, Chris?
It's going to be harder from there. I have to say it's advantage Sheffield Tigers with gates 1 and 3 in heat 15, but you just don't know. I mean, Cook, he's won his last 2 rides. He's looked good. Freddie Lingren, if anyone can help him and do something to help him, then Freddie Lingren can. So, hey, look, you know, I've got to say, Sheffield have the advantage with the gates. I think they're favourites for this, but who knows?
It's been a roller coaster of an evening. It was a stop-start to the meeting with all sorts of drama going on. But here we are, heat number 15. Can the home team take it to one more race? We're about to find out. Tapes up, and we're away. What a start from Cook. He's got across. Lingren's trying that raw around the outside, but Holder's there in 3rd place. Hasn't quite worked out for Fast Freddy. Frick now covers that move by going very deep in turns 3 and 4 himself. Cook was superb off of gate number 2, but this is enough right now for the Tigers. 3-all will see them through and win the night. But Zach Cook's out in front, riding super well.
Yeah, Zach Cook doing a really good job for his old club. Now looking over his shoulder. And Freddie Lingren certainly hasn't given up. If he can get past Jack Holder and Max Frick, the prize for that will be 4 on the trot for him, but it's going to be tough from there.
He's tried everything he can, but Max Frick is covering that mood. Holder's on the inside. It's tight now into the last lap. Zach Cook riding superbly well as a guest tonight, but the Sheffield Tigers are looking like they're going to hang on here and steal the win away from the home team. Heartbreak for the Brummies, you've got to see it. Freddie Lingren out the back. Cook wins the race, but the Sheffield Tigers win on the night. The points are theirs. Smashing night at Speedway. You've got to feel for the home team. They really did take it to the champions there late on in the evening. And Zach Cook has won his last 3 outings. What a return to the club. Brilliant performance from him. But the Sheffield Tigers have just about come out on top with a 47-point win to 43. Here's the result of heat 15. Cook out in front, 3 points for him. Max Frick back in 2nd place, 2 points, 1 point for Jack Holder, and Freddie Lingren just running out of steam there. That dirt just disappeared. And Simon Stead will be a relieved man right now.
Yeah, he will. The home side, the Brummies, took it right down to heat 15. I think Simon Stead will have been a little bit surprised by that. I think he thought they may have a slightly easier ride than that, to be honest. But got to say, the Tigers do the job in the end. They take 2nd and 3rd here. Oh, Jack Holder just comes across Max Frick. Could have got nasty on the opening lap, but a great ride from Zach Cook. Got himself out front. I'm sure the tactics would have been, you get yourself out front and Freddie will do what he can from behind, but Freddie doesn't make a good start. Tough from the outside gate. The outside dirt line now is dried out. It's not working, doesn't give you the advantage. And I think once the first lap was over, it was always going to be tough for Freddie Lingren from there.
We have got to think about the rider of the night as well, Chris. We'll
just have a look at the programme possibly and just reflect on what we've seen so far. But Zach Cook may well be involved in that with the way he's turned on the start in his last 3 outings. But Sheffield Tigers right now, they'll be celebrating. Do you want that now? Okay, Sheffield Tigers fans will be delighted with that. Let's get back down to Abbey.
Calvin, thank you. Well, it's a gutsy performance, particularly from these two. Zach Cook won his last 3 heats, but it is Sheffield Tigers that take the win here in Birmingham. More analysis coming up. Birmingham put in a solid effort tonight, especially with the patched up side, but it was Sheffield that took the win by 4 points, 43-47, the final score in the evening. A reminder of a big sport coming your way. It includes the Olympic Games, Paris 2024. Coverage starts on the 26th of July and it goes through to the 11th of August. It's live on Eurosport, Discovery Plus and Max, and the opening ceremony will be live at 4:30 on that Friday. Boxing, Fight Night Live is Joe Joyce versus Derek Chisholm, and 2 of the Britain's big heavyweights square off at the O2. And we've also got Boris Johnson, faking it special, and you can see that on Discovery Plus. But let's join Scotty Nichols now.
Yeah, thanks, Abby. I'm with you have been nominated Rider of the Night by our commentary duo, Chris Louis and Kelvin Tatum. So Phil Morris is going to hand you your Omologato Rider of the Night watch. Well done, mate. So you just told me you can't tell the time unless it's digital, though.
Nah, I'll work it out.
Mate, you rode exceptionally well tonight. Obviously, coming in as a guest, you've got the Kevlars. Was it a little bit strange coming in to represent the team that kind of let you go?
Yeah, it was a bit weird, to be honest. Didn't make my decision straight away, let's put it that way. But, nah, I sort of wanted to come here and show a few things, and I think I've done that tonight.
Well, I think...
Thanks, Scotty. So, British Speedway will be next in action 12th of August and will be in Manchester. Bellevue versus Kings Lynn. Porsche Super Cups round 6 for them. They're in Spa. Sunday at 10:30 it's live for you. And World Superbikes is round 7 for them. British Superbikes also the same. World Superbikes in Portsmouth and British Superbikes in Folkestone. The weekend of the 10th and the 11th of August. Scotty, thank you. I'm going to come and join you in just a moment, but let's have a look at the standings and how the 2 meetings tonight have affected the table. Has it? Ipswich at the top, Sheffield in second. They've got meetings in hand. Bellevue third. Optus Spires fourth. They're your playoff positions at the moment. Leicester Lions just outside with 18 points. Kings Lynn and Birmingham Brummies. Birmingham put such an effort in tonight. They wanted to get off the bottom of the table. It wasn't to be. Now, Scotty, I'm getting my phone out. Is that time of the night? Here we go. Taking consecutive rides in a row. Freddie just had 3. Does that put extra stress on the equipment? Oh, no question about the engines, especially when it's hot. We've got a lovely night. And the clutch really takes a pounding. And the tyres, hence why I changed them borrowed on Flint's tyre, because when they get too hot, they just disintegrate and it can be dangerous. Yes. If you've had a warning for moving, we had a slow start to the night, so a few delays by the tapes. Does that affect your rest of the meeting? Massively, because you don't have that security anymore. You know, you have to appreciate as well that the bikes don't have any brakes. Sometimes you can have a little bit of clutch drag. I mean, you can say that's preparation, but it can happen. A little bit of grit can get in the clutch and it can cause the bike to move. So you can actually move unintentionally, get the warning against you. Then for the rest of the night, you've got to be still, and some reps are more critical than others. So it definitely plays on you. And some riders handle it better than others, don't we? See that in the Grand Prix. Some riders have warnings the whole evening. Okay, Stuart Bell, thank you, because you tweeting a lot. Do you think being a good rider makes you a good team manager? Sam, and he was so honest in his interview with me, just said, you know, he's learning as well at the moment.
Yeah, no, I think it's. I think being a former rider makes a huge difference because you understand the pressures. You don't have to be a good rider. I think you just have to have good understanding. I think you have to be able to work with people, understand that every rider ticks differently. I think that's important. But I think when the pressure is on, I think that's when you need to know how to deal with it. And a former rider definitely has up his sleeve.
Yeah, well, pressure was on Sam and Malenko. They did well tonight, but it was Sheffield Tigers that take the win. We'll be back in action August the 12th in Bellevue. Look forward to seeing you then.